Your stomach growls, your hands turn cold, and your breath smells strange, and you think something is wrong. But you are wrong, because your body just crossed an invisible threshold that most people never even notice, let alone understand. And what feels like failure right now is actually the exact moment your biology begins to transform itself from the inside out. Somewhere between hour 10 and hour 12 of not eating, your body quietly runs out of stored sugar, and it makes a decision that has kept humans alive for hundreds of thousands of years. A decision to stop depending on food and start depending on itself, pulling fat from storage and turning it into a completely different kind of fuel. Neuroscientist Mark Mattson spent over 25 years studying this exact process at the National Institute on Aging, and he gave it a name, calling it the metabolic switch, the moment your body flips from burning sugar to burning fat for survival and strength. Once that switch flips, your liver starts producing ketones, small but incredibly powerful molecules that feed your brain and muscles with clean, steady, uninterrupted energy, unlike anything sugar could ever provide you. And here is the part almost nobody tells you. Ketones are not just fuel, they are messengers, biological signals that quietly trigger deep healing processes throughout your entire body while you are simply sitting still. They boost growth hormone to protect your muscles, and they activate autophagy, your cell's built-in cleanup crew that removes damage and repairs what sugar burning never allowed to heal. So that dizziness, that fatigue, that irritability you feel early on, none of it means you're failing. It means you are paying the entry fee into a stronger version of yourself. Your ancestors did not have refrigerators, grocery stores, or delivery apps waiting to rescue them the moment hunger appeared during a long day. They often went a full day or two between one successful hunt and the next, surviving entirely on what their own bodies could produce internally. If fasting had made them weak, slow, or foolish, none of us would even be here to talk about it right now. Instead, fasting made them sharper, faster, and more focused because survival depended on mental clarity, not mental fog, when food was scarce. We no longer have to hunt for our next meal, but our DNA never received that memo, and it still reacts exactly the same way. Every time you skip a meal today, your body activates that same primal survival mode, not out of panic, but out of pure, ancient efficiency. So when your breath smells metallic, when your hands feel unusually cold, when hunger rises and falls in strange, unpredictable waves, listen closely, because your body is speaking a language written by millions of years of evolution. Do not judge your fast by a mirror or a scale within the first 24 hours, because the real transformation is happening far beneath the surface, invisible to your eyes.
The first sign almost everyone misunderstands is how hunger actually behaves once you stop eating for an extended period of time. Most people assume hunger builds steadily, growing worse and worse the longer they go without food, but research tells a very different story. Ghrelin, often called the hunger hormone, does not rise in a straight line. It rises in sharp waves tied directly to your normal eating schedule and habits. If you usually eat lunch at noon, you will likely feel a strong hunger spike right around that exact same time. But here is the surprising part almost nobody expects. If you simply ignore that wave and keep going, the hunger eventually fades completely on its own. Many people report feeling not just normal afterward, but genuinely more alert and clear-headed than they were before that wave hit. This proves hunger is never a straight, ever-climbing line. It is a wave that rises, peaks, and then quietly disappears again. It is not evidence that your body is falling apart. It is evidence that your internal systems are recalibrating themselves in real time. Every time you ride out one of these waves without giving in, you move one step closer to true metabolic freedom. We've spent our whole lives being taught to fear hunger, to treat it like an emergency alarm demanding instant action. But through the lens of biology, hunger is simply a message, not a threat, telling you that adaptation is already underway inside your body. Once you push through that first hunger wave, something strange but fascinating begins to happen with your breath, and it might catch you completely off guard. It may start to smell metallic or sometimes almost sweet, like fermented apples left out too long. At first, this might feel alarming, like something is going wrong deep inside your body without your permission or awareness, but this is actually one of the most exciting signs your body can possibly give you during a prolonged fast. After roughly 12 to 16 hours without food, your liver begins converting stored body fat into ketones, an entirely different type of usable fuel source. One of those ketones, called acetone, is highly volatile, which means it literally exits your body through the air you breathe out. That strange odor is not bad hygiene or bacteria, it is undeniable proof that your metabolism has officially shifted gears. Mattson himself described this moment as a genuine physiological turning point, a shift optimized for clarity, endurance, and long-term nervous system resilience. Many people report feeling noticeably sharper, lighter, and more focused right around the time this particular sign first appears. If the smell bothers you, avoid sugary mints or gum, since those can quietly break the very fast you worked so hard for. Instead, drink plenty of water or unsweetened tea to gently help your body flush that acetone out naturally over time.
Right around this same stage, another odd sensation often creeps in without warning, and it can genuinely surprise first-time fasters. Your hands and feet start feeling colder than usual, even though the room temperature around you has not actually changed at all. This is not weakness, and it is definitely not a sign that something inside your body has gone wrong. When you fast, insulin levels drop sharply, signaling your body that it is now time to conserve energy wherever possible. Your body responds by redirecting blood flow away from your fingers and toes, protecting vital organs like your heart and brain first. This survival mechanism kept your ancestors alive during long stretches without food, prioritizing core survival over comfort in the extremities. Thousands of years later, your body still reacts exactly the same way whenever it senses food becoming scarce or unavailable. If your fingertips start turning chilly during a fast, understand that your body is adapting intelligently, not shutting down or failing you. Simply putting on an extra layer, sipping warm water, or taking a short walk can restore comfort fairly quickly. Not long after the chills set in, many people hit a wall of sudden, heavy fatigue that seems to come out of nowhere entirely. Your mind feels slow, your body feels sluggish, almost like your internal battery is quietly dying in real time. But this is not failure. This is simply your body transitioning between two completely different fuel systems at once. Imagine a car built for gasoline, suddenly forced to switch over to running entirely on electricity instead. There is hesitation, there is disruption, and there is a short adjustment period before everything runs smoothly again. According to Mattson, this exact phase is when your metabolic switch is actively being flipped inside your cells. Glucose is depleted, insulin drops, and your liver begins ramping up ketone production to replace that lost fuel source. But there is a temporary gap. Glucose is retreating faster than ketones can fully take over the workload. That gap is exactly what causes the fatigue, but it never lasts nearly as long as it feels. Push through those early, uncomfortable hours, and your body will catch up, often faster than you expect it to. Ketone levels rise, adaptation systems fully activate, and many people suddenly feel more alert than they did before fasting even started. This is the stable energy phase. No more sugar crashes, no more sudden hangry mood swings hijacking your entire afternoon. Ketone energy flows steadily instead of spiking and crashing, giving you smooth, consistent fuel throughout the rest of your day. This is also when growth hormone surges dramatically, with studies showing increases of 3 to 5 times normal baseline levels. That surge helps preserve muscle, regenerate damaged tissue, and support even deeper fat burning throughout the remainder of your fast.
As your energy stabilizes, your mind often follows close behind, shifting from foggy confusion into something unexpectedly sharp and clear. At first, you may struggle to focus, like a thin mental fog has settled quietly over every single thought. But almost like flipping a switch, clarity suddenly arrives, leaving you feeling crisp, alert, and fully present again. This happens once your body produces enough of a specific ketone called beta-hydroxybutyrate, or BHB for short. BHB crosses directly into your brain, becoming an incredibly efficient fuel source, unlike anything glucose could ever consistently provide you. Unlike sugar, ketones deliver clean, steady energy to your neurons without any dramatic highs or crashing lows. Fasting also boosts a protein called BDNF, often nicknamed natural fertilizer for your brain and nervous system. BDNF protects existing brain cells, strengthens neural connections, and actively enhances memory formation over time and repeated exposure. Your ancestors needed sharp minds while hungry because survival depended entirely on focus during an active hunt. Your modern brain still carries that exact same evolutionary programming, waiting patiently for the right conditions to activate it fully. One of the strangest parts of extended fasting is this. Hunger often decreases significantly after the 24-hour mark passes. It sounds completely backwards, but countless people report feeling less hungry, not more, the longer their fast continues. Ghrelin follows your normal eating schedule rather than climbing endlessly, spiking around usual mealtimes before fading away when ignored. Ketones also naturally suppress appetite, giving your brain steady fuel that no longer demands constant food input every few hours. Without blood sugar spikes and crashes, you avoid the sudden, intense hunger that typically follows a sugar-heavy meal. Together, these factors create a strange but genuinely beautiful effect where longer fasting brings less hunger, not more discomfort. This is not just relief, it is proof your body has fully adapted and switched fuel sources successfully. For some people, fasting brings an unexpected side effect, small breakouts, redness, or mild irritation appearing across the skin. At first glance, this looks negative, but it actually signals deep cellular cleanup happening quietly beneath the surface. Once fasting activates autophagy, your body's internal housekeeping system, damaged cell parts get broken down and recycled efficiently. During this process, compounds previously trapped inside fat tissue get released directly into your bloodstream for elimination. When your liver cannot immediately process everything, your skin sometimes becomes a secondary exit route for these compounds. The result is temporary breakouts or mild irritation, much like dust clouds rising during an intense spring cleaning session. This usually resolves on its own, as your liver, kidneys, and lymphatic system finish processing everything released. Support this natural detox with plenty of water, calm rest, and patience, rather than reaching for sugary comfort food.
The final sign catches almost everyone off guard. Sudden mood swings that seem to appear from absolutely nowhere during a fast. You might feel irritated, anxious, or oddly melancholic, and it is easy to assume something has gone terribly wrong. In truth, your nervous system is simply responding exactly as it was originally designed to under changing fuel conditions. Your brain normally runs on glucose, but fasting drops glucose levels while ramping up ketone production to compensate for the shift. This shift activates your HPA axis, the core system responsible for managing your body's stress response mechanisms. Cortisol and norepinephrine rise slightly, making you more alert, but also noticeably more emotionally sensitive than usual. This is not a flaw. It is the same ancient survival system that kept your ancestors sharp during genuine hunger. The good news is this phase never lasts forever. As ketones stabilize and your brain fully adjusts to the shift, mood settles, focus returns, and anxiety fades naturally as your body completes its internal recalibration process. Gentle walks, deep breathing, warm showers, or quiet meditation can genuinely help smooth this transition along the way. Fasting is not simply skipping meals. It is an ancient signal sent directly to a body built for exactly this. Every uncomfortable symptom, every wave of hunger, every chill, every mood swing is proof of transformation happening beneath the surface. You are not enduring random discomfort. You are unlocking biological power shaped carefully across millions of years of human evolution. Fat burning, cellular cleansing, organ rejuvenation, and genuine energy renewal are all quietly unfolding while you simply sit still. The human body is not fragile. It is simply waiting patiently for you to pause long enough to listen. Fasting is not for everyone, especially with existing medical conditions, so always consult a doctor before attempting extended fasting. But if you are healthy and genuinely curious, understanding these signs becomes the most direct path toward truly knowing yourself. Hunger arrives in predictable waves. Breath changes as ketones emerge, hands turn cold, and moods occasionally shift unexpectedly. Then comes clarity, comes balance, and finally comes a deep sense of inner calm you never expected to find. None of this is random. Each reaction is simply another chapter in the living biology already unfolding quietly inside you. If you made it this far, you are no longer just a curious viewer scrolling through information passively. You are an explorer now, someone willing to observe their own body like a careful, patient scientist. Your body has been working silently, powerfully, and intelligently this entire time, waiting for you to finally listen closely.